and the debts are high. And you want to smile, but have to cry. Don't quit, God has promised us a better life. The faith and grace you have, a better life, 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 better life.
Welcome to Better Life.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Better Life. For my Facebook audience today, I'm having it live. And I want to try and have a merger this morning. Since on Tuesday, I've been talking about thoughts on marriage. Thoughts on marriage. And I hope to do that maybe up until Monday or Tuesday. On Tuesday, I talked about don't die in a bad marriage. Don't die in a bad marriage. I'm going to run through all of that because people told me, oh, Pastor, please, can you go through it again? We are going to do that. But for today, I want to try and see how much of the package I can put together in one day. And tomorrow, maybe we do the same. First, I talked about don't die in a bad marriage. And I'm going to say everything I said before. And I'm going to try to be as fast as possible. Rather than die separate from a violent spouse, while you deal with the problem, while you do all your prayers and fasting and do principalities and power, it is easier to pray when you know you are far from the beatings of a spouse, from the abuse of a spouse. You can pray with your head free. You know nobody's going to abuse you. And then from there, things can be sorted out. Only a living wife can bind and cast off. If a man would have you wounded and killed, escape for your life. Live for your children and your spouse. Live for your parents. Live for your purpose. If it's not possible to live for marriage, then live for your purpose. Your parents are there to enjoy you. Your kids are there to enjoy you. Your purpose, your destiny, all of that there. I am not an advocate of divorce. I want to say that over and again. I don't believe in divorce. But rather than die, it is better for you to separate. Rather than allowing allow a partner to destroy you, it is better to separate. It is better to separate. If you have been married to a bouncer, if you are married to a wife beater, if you are married to an abuser, instead of dying, separate and enjoy your life alone. Yeah, you can call me any name you like. I don't care. The truth is absolute. You can't love your neighbor more than yourself. Loving yourself begins with caring enough to run from what can kill you. Why live with a man who beats you and violates you all the time? Someone should show me a scripture that support that nonsense. I want to say that again. It's nonsense to tell a woman to keep living with a man that will kill her. To tell a woman to keep living with a man that keep beating her every day. They take her to hospital, they bring her back again. She recovers, he beats her again. And you tell her, stay there because the word of God says so. Show me one scripture that supports that. One, just one. If you can show me one, then I will agree with you. There is not one. I've searched Genesis to Revelation over and again. You can talk spiritual talks, but you see, people are going through real problems in marriage. Real life-threatening problems that requires that they separate so that they can be alive for God, for their children, for their parents, and for life and for purpose. Listen, nobody is a slave to marriage, whether the man or the woman. Marriage was created for mankind and not mankind for marriage. If marriage will lead to your hurt, lead to your depression, lead to your death, then discard it. Men hate to be reported. I said this before, I want to say it again. Men don't like their wives reporting them, but they keep doing things worthy of report. A woman reported her husband, and the husband called her names for reporting him. The question is, why are you doing things worthy of reporting? If you don't want to be reported, I want to shout today on the housetop, stop the silence. If you are going through abuse in your marriage, stop the silence. Stop it. Don't die in silence. Report him, reporter, speak out. That is where solution kicks off. If you don't report your abusive spouse, whether the husband or the wife, believe me, there will never be a solution. Don't say that if I report him now, he will get angry. It's a lie. Let him get angry. It is the anger that will be the beginning of the change that you desire. So stop the silence. Then I also spoke on when separation becomes necessary in marriage. Because if you don't know when separation is necessary in marriage, you will live there and die there, not realizing that you can actually separate. And for some people, they are separating for no just reasons. They shouldn't separate and they are separating. Yeah, there is no ground for them to separate, yet they are going for separation. So we want to spell out today from the scriptures and from realities around us when separation becomes necessary in marriage. If you know when, then you will know if you should. Like I said the other time, that your husband slaps you does not mean you should leave him. No. Your wife pushed you and then you fell. It's not a reason to leave. Yeah, you can bring one or two elders or bring your pastor to come and, sort things out for you. But we are talking about cases where there is threat to life and destiny. That's when there can be separation. Now, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 11. But if she departs, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband. But if she departs, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband. The simple meaning of that is she can depart. He too can depart. Either permanently or temporarily. See the way the Bible put it. If she departs, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband. That means if they have tried to reconcile them and it's not working out, she can remain unmarried. The meaning of that is, if reconciliation is impossible, she can choose to live alone for life, off the marriage. But if reconciliation is possible, then they can come together again and life. This is the scripture, not the one my father wrote, the one in your house, the one you read in your church. So there are matters that will necessitate separation in marriage. And when you are coming through such, please separate. Number one, when your faith is under threat. I have said before, let me say again, salvation is superior to marriage. Anything that threatens your salvation, you should put it aside, including marriage. Hear what the scripture said, 1 Corinthians chapter 7. When you are constantly abused, when should you separate? When your faith is under threat. 1 Corinthians 7, 13 and 15. 1 Corinthians 7 verses 13 and 15. Yeah. Told us there, if your unbelieving husband or wife can live with you, it's okay. But if he or she chooses to leave, it's okay. Your salvation is superior to your marriage. Number two, when you are constantly abused, there are cases that require for a spouse to leave for safety. And then the elders, the men of God can come in and correct and resolve and dissolve matters as required. If resolvable, then they can come together again, according to the text, 1 Corinthians 7:11. A woman after serious beating landed in the hospital. And when she recovered, her church got her an apartment. She moved in there while they were settling the case. After settling the case, then she went back to her husband. That is common sense. Not asking a woman to go back to the place where she's been abused every day. She was even abused and taken to the clinic for treatment more than once. And then you ask her, no. It is until death do us part. And the man wants to do both of them part with his fist. Wants to kill her with his fist. They put her aside, got a room for her, and then they settled the matter. After settlement, then she went back. That's common sense. Well, I am sorry to say, but I have discovered today that a lot of our men of God are just dogmatic. They don't think, they don't reason. They don't even read the Bible as much as they should read it. They don't know the scriptures. So they give people, they suggest solutions to problems that are not pragmatic, that are not realistic, that are not even scriptural. They just look spiritual, but they are not scriptural. If you are constantly abused, separate. Yeah. Then when settlement has been done, when there is resolving, then you can go back. Number three, if the abuser continues the abuse after several corrections, if your spouse is abusing you, and you have brought in your pastors to resolve, you have brought in elders to resolve, and your spouse continues to abuse, please separate for your joy, for your health, and for your life. Number four, I said if your health is constantly under threat because of your marriage, if your health is constantly under threat because of your marriage, separate. Yeah. I shared the story of a woman who went to the hospital for treatment 3 times. Because of sexually transmitted diseases. The husband brought such home for her. The husband did not tell her that he was infecting her, and he was treating himself. He was treating himself regularly. But the woman innocent woman, was the one at the receiving end. She was going to, sometimes she went there, she almost died. When she discovered, and then told the man, brought in 1 or 2 elders, the man began to say, she's promiscuous. She's the one going out. Instead of saying sorry. What do you tell that kind of a woman whose life had been under threat more than twice? Who had been to the hospital to treat STD, had to be admitted more than 2 times? She should stay there and die of STD. She treated herself for a whole year before she could be free the last time, and then she separated. She has to leave. Her life is more important than marriage. She separated, and that's the best thing to do. Number 5, if your spouse is a sexual threat to your children, when should you separate in marriage? When separation becomes necessary. Number 5, if you're spouse to your daughters, be safe. A man slept with his first daughter. The wife got angry, brought 1 or 2 persons. They corrected him. 2 years down the line, he slept with the second one 2-3 times. They caught him. They corrected him. 2-3 years down the line, he impregnated the third one because the woman was stupid. She kept reporting instead of taking the girls out for safety. Let me say once again, if you catch your husband sleeping with your daughter, don't give him second chance. Take your girls away. Go meet him 2 times in a week, 3 times in a week. Have your time together as husband and wife. Don't leave him, but take your girls away. That is a beast. A man who abuses his own daughter sexually is a beast. Is a beast. Is a beast. Take your girls away from him. Take your girls away from such a man. Take your girls away from such a man. Then from there, we moved on to why men abuse their wives. Because basically, the reason many women should leave their husband is because of physical abuse. They beat them, they do all of that. Why men abuse their wives? I gave 6 reasons. Number 1, I said, I don't care attitude. Some men don't care. They just beat their wives anyhow. Number 2, wickedness. Some people are just wicked. Yeah. They are wicked. Anything they see, anyone they see, they want to vex the person. Wickedness. Number 3, upbringing. Some guys grew up where daddy beats mommy regularly. And when they say, mommy want to fight, mommy will say, hey, leave him. So the boys grew up to believe that a man should beat his wife. So they beat their wives. Yeah, they beat their wives. Even though that's not a good reason, you can change. In case you came up from such a family, build up. Transform yourself. Transform yourself. Huh? Don't follow the evils of your father. No. Number 4, demonic influence. Some men are under demonic influence. They beat their wives and then something lift up their faces. It's like a veil. If you are like that, you better come for prayer. 070 56 66 76 86. Come for prayer. You need prayer. Then number 5, evil philosophy. Some women have told their daughters that when a man beats you, it's because he loves you. It's a lie. Big lie.